Numerology in estate agency. Today I'm joined by John Savage, who is an estate agent and podcaster. And because of his family upbringing, he's a very spiritual person. And he believes that numerology is a vital way to be successful in estate agency. Most people watching this are going to think, yeah, batshit crazy. So talk to me. What is it all about?
Right. And I would agree with them. Yeah, I used to think my mum, when she was trying to teach me tarot, was completely nuts. Right. And as I've got older, I've realised, looking into it, that everybody is ruled by their numbers, and each number carries a specific trait, and each person has an overall life path number, which is the overarching theme of their life. Then they have an expression number, a heart's desire number, a personality number, and a birthday number, and all five mix in. And so we're all individuals, and everybody likes to talk about what they're interested in more so than actually stuff. If it's boring, they find it boring, they don't want to know.
Yeah.
So when it comes to getting to know people and building rapport, when I'm listening to someone, I'm working out what type of person that they actually are, because I'm also thinking, do I want this person as a client as well? Be great to get a listing, but actually, is it going to make me ill if I take them on? And at the same time, though, I want to know how I should really be interacting with that person. So, for example, a number 6 is deemed to be the most balanced number.
How do we work these numbers out then?
Okay, right. So you take all the digits in your date of birth. So, for example, mine's 25th the 5th, 1977. So you'd add every single one of those digits up: 2 plus 5 plus 5 plus 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 7. That gives me 36.
Yeah.
So 36, 3 plus 6 is 9. So 9 is a humanitarian. A 9, Chris, hates injustice.
And is it 1 to 10, 1 to 20, or what is it, 1 to 9?
No, so 1 to 9. So the numbers go from 1 through to 9, and then you've got 3 master numbers, which are 11, 22, and 33.
So if it adds up to 11, you don't have to go 1 plus 1.
No, you don't mind. Yeah, so if it adds up to 11, that stays the same. That's a life path 11. So they are here to awaken people to their spiritualness. 22, they're master builders, and then 33, they're master teachers. So 1 is your first life, 9 is your last life. And so basically you go on a journey, like the Fool's journey is what you go on throughout the numbers. So according to numerology, we come here on Earth as a 1, and then when we die, we come back as a 2, and when we come back as a 3.
I was about to say, you can't change your birth date, can you?
No, you can't change your birth date. But what's interesting about numbers as well is nicknames. So for example, if I'm trying to work out the personality of somebody, they may be called Chris, but if your nickname, and everybody knows you by your nickname, which is something completely different, like Bert, then you would carry a different vibration in your personality than you otherwise would if you had Chris as your...
Right, so if I add up my birth date, which is the 19th of July 1971, it's that adds up to 35. 3 plus 5 is 8.
Yes.
So what does that make?
That means that 8 generally, the number 8 is about wealth. The number 8 is about being grounded. So as above, as below. So for example, you've got 2 circles on an 8. You've got the plane, you've got a circle underneath, which is below. So you're grounded. And then you've got the 8, which is above. In essence, basically, you make good leaders. You make good business people. And you know how to build wealth. You know how to delegate. And 8s generally are very ambitious. But there is a big point here, though, Chris, is that everyone carries positive, negative, and destructive traits. And that's part of the reason why I use numerology anyway, to keep me on the straight and narrow, because you will have, as an 8, your own positive, negative, destructive traits, which will be different to mine. I'm a 9, so I'll have different to yours. But 8s generally are wealth builders, like material things. If you could have a car, you wouldn't just have a car, you may have the latest and greatest car. The bigger and better holidays. In terms of management, make very, very good leaders.
Okay, let's not talk all about me. Just briefly go through 1 to 9 and which ones are which, just to help the boys and girls out there in a stage.
Okay, so a number 1 is a leader. Number 2 is a peacemaker. Number 3 is the artist. Number 4 is the accountant. Number 5 is the freedom fighter. Number 6 is the motherly love. Number 7 are the spiritualists, but they don't believe they're spiritual. The number 8s are the wealth builders, and the 9s are the humanitarians. So the 1 comes into the world like an absolute trailblazer, like a baby that wants maybe the pen. I need to have that pen. I need to have that pen. I need to have that pen. They blossom late in life. But then when you get to the number 9, the 9 is all about letting go, because the 9 intuitively knows it's its last life on earth. So
What about the 11s and 22s and 33s?
so they would have come back as master numbers. Basically, they would have come back, they would have been through 1 through 9, and now they come back as a master number to say, for example, an 11 is here to awaken people to their true spirituality. Actually,
And do you go from 11 to a 22? Or
no.
So some people come back either 11 or 22 or 33. That's not guaranteed.
That's right. And here's another thing, Chris, as well. When parents think they're naming their child, they're not. Their child is naming themselves. So, for example, your name carries a specific vibration. So my full name is John William Thomas Savage, which has a specific vibration that my parents thought that they were naming me that, but I had a part to play in that before I came to Earth.
Most people watching this will think you're absolutely batshit crazy on all this.
Absolutely, because it's not taught in schools. And this is one thing that should be taught in schools. This is the thing that will get rid of, in my opinion, things like bullying. Because if I'm a 9 and I'm going, right, what do I need to take from the buffet and build a perfect business? Imagine if I had a 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, and they all were taught numerology as well, and they all knew what their specific role and task was within that. We could end up having a fantastic business. It may not be business at school. It may be like a theatre production. It may be whatever, but it certainly brings people closer together. And one last point. You're a 35, 8, but there could be a 53, 8. There could be a 17, 8. So each one, a 17 will carry a different vibration to the 35. So it doesn't mean just because you're an 8 and you know 2 other people that happen to be 8s that you all share exactly the same personality, expression, heart's desire, and birthday number. So all going to be different. Twins, for example, born on the same day, same life path number, but they're different because they've got different names.
John, thank you for your time today. When someone comes on the WatkinSofa, I always ask them what are they particularly interested in, and this is the first time that this question has ever come up, and I thought I'd try it. Some of you will think it's absolutely strange and weird. Some of you will appreciate it. That's what this WatkinSofa is all about. Thank you for your time today, John.
Pleasure, Chris.